Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We're taking a brief break from our continued testing today because, well, we've been ignoring Mercury for most of this space program, and I thought it might be worth trying to take a direct shot at putting something into orbit of Mercury, which I know is pretty difficult, but we've got this amazing launcher. This is a standard DN1A. It does not have the upgraded engines at the bottom. And to be very honest with you, I have no idea how much delta V it takes to insert into a insert directly into orbit of Mercury without using gravity assist to slow yourself down first. But I figured it'd be worth a try. We've got a little bit. We don't have any disposable money. I'll be very honest. We're very broke after upgrading our R&D center. But the science payout, even on a quick flyby or successive flybys, could be very worth it. So our relative inclination with the moon has reached 0.25, so we're going to light these engines up. There they go. And let's get those clamps off and get ourselves up into a nice orbit here. Yeah, everything's throttled up. Okay. Nice and steady, and easy liftoff from the pad. I guess I'll talk more about our project spacecraft up here at the top once we get these fairings off, and I can actually show you kind of what I'm talking about. So I guess I'll just pick all of you up in orbit. So see you in a minute. Alright, there's a very quick shutdown. We're going to ditch our first stage. I know it's still got some fuel left in it, but it's just entirely too hard to maneuver around to make it worthwhile. So, yep, we've got our RCS fired up. Let's go ahead and SEP, and then just pull ourselves as carefully as we can out of these fairings. Go ahead and activate our RL-10s and give them a light. Goodbye first stage. Oh. I fell a little short there. Whatever, we've got plenty of ignitions. Alright, 239 by 212 is our final orbit. We can go ahead and dispense with that part of Mech Jeb. Not much to look at as far as what we're sending to Mercury. This is our actual package coming in at just a little under half a ton. The transfer stage is probably a lot more than that, although I never bothered to actually check the tonnage on it. It has it's tons and tons and tons of delta V. What we do have on board is several new scientific experiments, lots of stuff that we've never sent to Mercury before, even stuff that we haven't used here at Earth, like this multispectral imaging platform. We'll log some image. That gives us 6 science and lets us complete a contract. Oh, that's vessel complete. Goodbye. There should have been one. There it is. It took it a while to radio in. Radio science from space around Earth. $4 grand. That's kind of a drop in the bucket as far as our launch costs. But we're going to go ahead and plot our course for Mercury since we are at the transfer window. So first we will set ourselves a target. There we go. And bring up Mech Jeb to do the heavy lifting for us. Now let's just measure out our delta V. 60. By the time we get to this burn in an hour, we'll probably be just around 6,200. That kind of throws a wrench in my plans a little bit, but that does not also account for how much of this RCS fuel will burn off. I don't think we're going to make up a kilometer per second on it, although I know this stage here has about almost 6 once the fuel is unlocked for it. But I think that means that we're not going into orbit. So I'm going to think about it and try to squish my brain for how much I know about resonance orbits. And maybe we can do this in multiple passes, but I'm not too hopeful. And considering we don't even have a flyby or a contract, I'm sorry, to do anything with Mercury, I'm really not all that enthused about it. Or pressured to get it right, I guess would be the better terminology here. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and spin around to this node. It's a little less than a full orbit away, and then we'll get the rest of this mission underway. Alright, we're about 8 minutes from our burn start time, so we're just going to go ahead and start to ullage these engines. Risky, stable, very stable. Ignition. Alright, we're lit. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay on the H key here once I am certain that I am on the node as precisely as I can be. There we go. And we'll try to use as much of this RCS as we can to help speed things along. Although I am a little worried about our periapsis falling a little too low. Periapsis is in about 3 minutes. At least that's good. We'll be flying through the lowest point of our orbit. I just hope we don't push it so far down that we're in the atmosphere. That would be a little awkward. Just a little. And then we'll gauge the health of the rest of this mission as it progresses. But in the meantime, that's pretty nice. Maybe we can get a little zoomed in here. Oh, nope, camera, what are you doing? It's not too bad. Bye, moon. I'd take it. Anyway, yeah, I should totally be watching this periapsis number in case I need to adjust the angle at which we are burning, and maybe monitor our delta V. Yeah, we're certainly going to have to rely on our upper stage. I intended to be a braking stage, considering how much this was able to chuck at Mars with such little effort. Although I guess that was on the upgraded version with the E1 Advanced on the boosters, wasn't it? I forgot about that. Well, good for me, having a lot of brain fart issues recently. Simple problems that I solve with complex measures. But anyway. Alright, the AJ-10 is lit, and we just got to cover that last 1,300 or so meters per second, which is a lot bigger of a dent in our total delta V numbers than I really would have liked. I was kind of banking on that RL-10 stage completing the transfer burn all on its own. But, you know, you deal with what you got. Mercury transfer windows come around very frequently, so if we ever get a contract to do something like this, I imagine I will attempt an orbit for it again. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try this time around, don't get me wrong. I will certainly see what can be done both at Mercury and as far as using gravity assists maybe to slow our orbit down. But I will probably get to all of that either off camera or in extraordinarily sped up footage. But in the meantime, we are just going to finish out this burn and see what Mech Jeb is going to tell us about how completely off base we are. Now, I should also mention that this the probe itself does have its own fuel, does have thrusters, but no real clear indication on about how much delta V it has in total. My guesstimation is somewhere, were it to go just in a straight line, it would probably rank into the 500 to 1,000 meters per second range, because it is just so incredibly light. I mean, it's 2 solar panels, some science equipment, and fuel. That's it. There's not a whole lot to it. Nothing on this thing really weighs a whole hell of a lot. So, that's good. Let's check our power draw. Okay, good. We are charging. That's good to know, although slowly. Although we do have 2 panels that are not in optimal positions. Alright, and I should pay attention to the spacecraft and stop. Making sure we're on course here, because it looks like my estimation on when to start the burn was a little underwhelming. Got about a minute left, and then we should be able to shut down. I still have these 2 tanks locked, which is why that fuel gauge is showing so incredibly low at this moment. But, you know, no big deal. I'm sure we'll get there. It's just a matter of what we'll be able to do when we actually arrive. No big deal. Yeah. And we're pretty much back where we left. There's Florida, Cuba, and the Bahamas, and then up the East Coast there. Yeah. Everybody say hi. Alright, last 200 meters per second or so. Time to start actually paying attention. And, well, the good news here is that this is an advanced AJ-10. It has unlimited ignitions and an unlimited runtime. So however many times we need to light that sucker, we will. And we'll shut it down. 3.9 meters per second off base. Let's just check the map, see where we're at. No love. I love when that happens. We're pretty far off course. But it looks like we can just make a little bit of a bump in our trajectory this way, and maybe that'll help solve it. Although, yeah, based on how quickly our number is falling here on our estimation for this bird and how quickly our telemetry line is moving, I think we're going to have to replot the node. Dang it. Alright, well, let's get to some replotting and see what we've got left to do here. Yeah, okay, let's zoom out a little bit, give ourselves some time to work with. That's only 30 seconds. I need probably more than that. Alright, well, it's a very unfortunate 735 meter per second burn. The node's in 2 minutes. The burn will take about a minute and a half. So we're going to get ourselves lined up, going to unlock another fuel tank, and hopefully we'll get this sucker executed rather well. But, you know, you never know. Alright, come on, just right about there. Yeah, that's good. Aw, dang it. Of course I did. Of course I did. Alright, come on, ullage, ignition. Let's just see what we can't figure out here. Whoa. Alright. Maybe something's just a little off balance here, although I was very careful about balancing all the weights on everything. So everything should be fine. What's our charge rate? 0.33. I'll take that. So let's just see what this is doing to our telemetry here. So I think that's just a bit more important. I mean, it's not like we're at an ascending node or anything, so. Alright, well, it's going very quickly, that's good. Although we're a bit more than a minute behind. Come on. Come on. Still nothing, really? Still no encounter. It's very, very interesting. But, you know, at this range, we could be... a 6.1 meter per second difference could really make all the difference in the world. Come on, you can do it. Although I think being so far behind was definitely affecting this node. Alright, I'm just going to get rid of it. Oh, so close. So close. Alright, well, it is not quite at our apoapsis. We will add a maneuver anyway and see what we can't figure out. It's 47.3 meters per second, and is it in 13 days? I don't think we have much going on before then, so we might as well just go ahead and get to that now. Take a quick save. And our antennas are set up. Everything else is pretty good. So let's go ahead and warp to this and just hope to goodness we can get this right. Because I'd really like to know what the orbital insertion burn is going to take. I don't think I ever... Well, maybe I did plot one of those out in the previous Mercury flyby mission. If I did, I certainly don't remember what the number was, but I assume it was ridiculous. What? Why are we... We're throttling back, assumingly because Kerbal Alarm Clock has something to tell us. I'm willing to bet it's that our launch pad has been refurbished and is ready for use. Or maybe not. Well, it's certainly not letting us go any faster. Way to go, Kerbal Alarm Clock. Yeah, you're blinking. Oh, our Earth Mercury window is in 3 minutes. And I'm pretty sure you got that one wrong, Kerbal Alarm Clock, but thank you. Delete on close. Close alarm. Alright. Yeah, we can go ahead and get rid of that. We've got 10 days. So we can start to speed this up just a bit. Let's go ahead and get ourselves angled in here. Less than a minute to go until our burn time. You know what? We'll also take a radio in, because we've got some new science experiments on board here. Need about a 30-second delay. Not too shabby. Alright, I'm probably going to use the AJ10 for this. I know it's a little bit extreme for such a tiny burn, but you know, we've got infinite ignition, so why not? Why shouldn't we use the AJ10 for this one? And hopefully we'll have time to radio this stuff in before we have to light it. The waiting game. 3, 2, 1, 0. Good. Alright, yeah. Hey, there's 24 science for the irradiance scan while high over the sun. We'll radio that back in. Oh, 16 science for a multispectral analysis. And I think that's going to be it for our list. Start to ullage our engine. Yeah, ullage is good. To ignition. And shutdown. Alright, let's see what that bought us. Oh, very nice. Very nice, very nice. I'm just going to use the thrusters in their lateral docking kind of configuration to get ourselves up over this North Pole. Just a bit. Yep. 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 No. 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 Stop compensating. Alright, and let's go back quickly and lock these tanks before they screw us all up. They've already screwed us all up. Okay. Not bad. I'll take this. Not quite over the pole, but let's see. 190 kilometer periapsis. Let's see what an orbital insertion would take, even one that isn't horrible. Yep, and there goes our intended fuel budget. 10 kilometers a second, 11, 12, can we get 15? Ooh, 14.40, 169 by 325, that's almost out of the range of our scanners. Yeah, 279 by 159, so for almost 14.5 kilometers a second, we could pin into orbit of Mercury. Wow, that's excessive. That's interesting. I can't say I'm surprised, really. That's a lot of delta V. I'm certain that we don't have that, even everything combined, but we will try to slow down at Mercury as much as we can. Give us as much time to radio in some of these new science experiments. I don't think I will use the probe's fuel at all at Mercury. We can eliminate that. But what does that encounter do to our orbit? And the answer is not a whole lot. Difference between where we were and where we will be is pretty insignificant. So I'm just going to tinker with some nodes a little bit and try to figure out a resonance. But I think for the most part, that's going to do it for us today. Well, after I see how much it's going to take us to get down to Venus. Lots. Even with that over-Earth effect helping us out, we're still looking at almost 5 kilometers a second to slow that down enough. And that's without the plane change correction. Yeah, 3.5 degrees. It's not that bad. It's really not. Alright. So I'm going to tinker with this a whole lot more. Oh, hey. Very interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to fidget with this off camera because it's not exactly exciting. And that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And just as a kind of a heads up and fair warning, I probably will not be uploading for a couple of days. I've got some work to do with my computer, tearing it down and putting it back together with a couple of new parts and moving things over to a new hard drive. Do not worry. I have saved the entire build of this KSP install onto an external drive and made backups of everything and backups of the backups, and I've also cataloged my video history. So this series should go uninterrupted. It's certainly not going to die, but it might take me a day or two to get everything up and running and orchestrated and sorted out. But until then, thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, see you later.